Hey, welcome back everyone, and happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are having a good day to start. So I'm actually going to be doing another inspection video right now for you guys. I think you're going to enjoy this one. I know I will. The reason I say that is not just because it's on my channel or anything like that, but I get asked, I cannot tell you how many times I get asked about Michael Jordan and PSA population control. I cannot tell you how many times people want to send me MJs thinking they're 10s and then they're not. So I want to kind of like use this example. So Kyle, thank you very much for shooting these over. I got 15 MJs, all in the 90s, which is great. And we're going to look at these. I know some of them you're hopeful for a 10. I know some of them you probably think are going to be 10s. And I'm going to give you my honest take when we're looking at these cards. So, you know, I get in a lot of debates about population control. And the reason I debate a lot of times, not to troll anyone, it's just I don't share that opinion because I've never had that experience. Like, I've had plenty of raw MJs I've sent in that have gotten PSA 10s from the 90s, and some of them are rare. So, you know, I just don't I've never been surprised fully by an MJ coming back. Like, sometimes like I'll get something that might be a grade lower, but it's a tweener, so it's not something like I'm super surprised about. But ultimately it's like you know, for example, I had a conversation with a guy on Facebook in regards to a 68 Tom Seaver. He got a PSA 8. So he made this huge post about like, you know, population control. They're trying to keep the pop low because the values are going to go down. And then I was like, well, there's 167 pop count. 168 is not going to change the world. I'm like, the reality is you probably have an 8. And his response was like, I used to own a shop, so I know it's 9. And I said, well, I took a dump this morning, and that doesn't make it a 9 because it's unrelated. The reality is, if you own a shop, doesn't mean you know how to grade. If you take a poop, doesn't mean you know how to grade either. So it's like one of those things because you're trying to assess everything based on someone else's opinion. And, you know, the other rumor is that because PSA people, they have 30 seconds to look at a card. So in that time, I gave them an example. Someone has to say, oh, it's a 1968 Tom Seaver. Let me check Nat's list of things not to grade above an 8. And then find that card and say, not today, dude, and it give you an 8. Like, that's just not how it works, in my opinion. Like, if you look at your cards in depth, especially vintage, you'll find issues. If I'm looking at these MJs, I know you're very hopeful to get some 10s here, Cal, but at the same time, I gotta be real and just shoot what I see. So hopefully it does plan out to be pretty good, but I'm just gonna give you the data and we're gonna go from there. So let's get this thing started. I'm excited, so here we go. Okay, so for those of you that are just joining, and for you, Cal, my friend, all your cards are in the comment section below and time-stamped individually, so that way you don't have to rewatch the entire video if you don't want to, or you can just skip ahead if you wanted to as well. Sometimes I do this just for efficiency. Sometimes people will ask me what this card graded, once again what I thought, and then, you know, I literally sometimes have thousands of cards in front of me, so I can't remember every single little one. But that way it's quick reference, you guys can check and we can have that conversation. But let's jump right into this one. First one is I believe a 95 Finest Mystery Michael Jordan. This looks like the borderless card. So here we go. First corner looks good. Top edge nice and clean. Right side, this corner looks sharp. However, it looks like there's a little bit of discoloration right here. You can see it angles up, it's a little bit lighter. And also the pixelation is kind of diluted there. So it tells me there's a little bit of potential wear right there. Edge looks nice and clean. Perfect corner over there. Bottom edge looks good as well. Left side, that looks good. Corner wise, edge looks clean as well. These little lines you see are just a reflection, they're not chipping. I would point it out if there was for you guys. So far that part looks good. Let's check out the surface, shall we? So here we go. Surface wise, you see a little, I don't know if you guys can see it, but let me see if I can move this over. Little scratches. I don't know if you can see where the light is right here, but it gets dark, it sinks in. Obviously it's a little bit faint, hard to see, but it is there. Surface scratches, there's a few more that pop up. You'll see right above his head. And also his head's just got dirty marks all over the place. But there are definitely some micro scratches here. Some of them look a little bit deeper potentially as well. Face looks okay, looks like a little print issue over there. Just because of the two-tone line across his face. That's very nitpicky at that point, but at the same time you are looking for reasons that it may not be a gem mint card. or reasons that it should be. Either way. His head also looks a little bit green, like maybe not in the light right here, but in person, you can see a little bit of greening for sure. Back of the neck and also top of the head. And then let's keep going. Overall though, I must tell you that this is one of the cleaner ones that have been sent my way over the last couple years. Most Jordans I get are wrecked. Alright, here we go. So surface overall, I'd say is pretty fair. There's a couple issues here and there. My biggest concern isn't really the small scratches, it's more so the light greening. Backside, let's double check though. Corner looks nice and sharp, good clean edge as well. No fraying. Same thing, this corner looks nice and sharp. Edge looks good. And then, let's see, check the bottom. Bottom corner here, this one looks nice and clean as well. Going down the edge, clean. And then the last corner here, also nice and clean. Little marks right there. Print marks or dirt? Well, one hair and one print mark. Overall though, pretty decently clean. I'd say the reason that it might not get a gem mint is those little components. You can see the little marks all over his head. You can see the little blemishes and stuff like that, but also it's the greening. The scratch and the greening, even though it's very minor, may prevent this card from being a 10. Outside of that, the foundation looks pretty good. This corner as well could be a little bit of concern. So if it was me, I'd say there is a shot at a tweener. However, I would lean more towards a 9 than a 10. So let me know what you think on that. Next card, Jordan. Same card, except this is the bordered version. So it's got the nice orange or red border. Let's check it out. So nice corner there. Edge looks like right there. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little circular pit or dimple. Let me see if I can get the light to capture it for you guys. See it right there? It's just a little bit, whatchamacallit, it's a small indentation over there. So that would eliminate that card from realistically being a 10. A couple more print pits. I mean, these were very common back then, but you definitely don't want indents. Corner's nice and clean. Edge looks good. Bottom right corner looks nice and clean as well. Bottom edge, superb. Bottom left corner looks like there's a touch of white. So the corner doesn't go perfectly straight. It comes straight down and there's a little bit of a curve right before it heads straight in the other direction. So not quite 90 degrees. In fact, you can see a little bit of the white stock coming from underneath. So something to consider as well. Going up, left edge looks nice and clean. So let's check out the surface on this bad boy. All right. So we know there's little pits here and there, pretty small. Not too big of a concern there. Let's see what else we can notice. Definitely green. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this little region right here and the neck, green. The other one was less green, the first one, but that's in the same exact area. So common shoulder, same thing. You can clearly see the hulking. Some light scratches here and there. You can see it on his neck, but free of any major scratches and surface scuffs, and pretty good. I do think the green will prevent you from getting a 10. It might even significantly knock you a little bit more just because it's a little bit more significant. It's not the worst. I think I'm looking at the next card in front of me. That's probably the worst. Little hair, which is okay, but clean corner. Clean corner. Clean corner as well. And the last corner here looks nice and clean. Backside, no indentations, no divots. I don't see anything as such. So overall, presentation wise, I think you're looking at a more so of a 9 than an 8. However, the greening, if they take it a little bit up a notch compared to what I'm looking at right now, if they think it's worse, that could be a reason why you get an 8. But I'd say between that, 8, 9 on this one. Next one is the 93-94 Finest Jordan. I honestly have yet to see one that is not green. So either way, let's check it out. Corner there looks okay. Looks like it's got a little bit of a minor indentation coming in up at the top, and also you can see the edges are a little bit rough over here. Going through, second corner here, definitely dull, not nice and sharp. You guys can see a little bit, so it doesn't go nice and straight, and then to the right it comes straight, slightly curves. Same thing over there. Edge looks a little bit rough as well, but okay. Okay, nice clean corner there, you can see, sharp. No doubt that it's nice and sharp. This last corner here, also nice and sharp. So I would say you got like probably 2 really nice corners in the front and 2 suspect corners. Surface wise, got some minor pits, very common. Nice little print line right here coming down. I don't know if you can see it, but it's very faint, but it does come down this way. Ignore the little dots, they are very common back then. It's just the way that the surface was. But the greening is where it's going to get you, and then there's a line right across the greening. I don't know, you can probably see that nice scratch. But his whole entire biceps green, down to his armpits green, his shoulders green, his face is green. Little scuffs all over his face as well. Also got green forearm, green hand. Thumb is not green though. That's good, but lots of greening on this card, my friend. Same thing, his leg, you can see the green right there, and also the green on this quad, so it's just fully hulked out in my opinion. Kind of eliminates it from being a 10. I think it's significant enough to eliminate it from a 9 as well, if I'm being fair. And then we got the bottom corner here looks, to me, a little bit damaged. It's got a little bit of fading, a little bit of rounding, not too bad, just minor fraying. And then the bottom left corner here, this one actually looks pretty good. So I'd say it'd be fair to give something like this. I hate that greening takes away from the card, but it does, unfortunately, and I get why, even though it's just a factory chemical kind of reaction defect or whatever. You can open a fresh pack of 93, 94 that's been sealed, and all the cards inside could be green. So that's the issue I have with that as far as the opinion. But you know, unfortunately, my opinion doesn't matter. But here we go. So this card, I think, likely 8 max is what you're looking at. You might get a little bit worse just because of the significant amount of greening. I did have a Ray Allen that was completely hulked out, 96 silver. I did get a 9 on it though, so there is hope. But if we're being realistic, I think 8's fair. Next one here, Michael Jordan, 94-95 finest, the Grant Hill year. This one I don't see any greening, which is great. Corner looks good. Corner also looks nice and sharp there. Good clean smooth edge. Coming down to the bottom here, see that the corner is nice, however it's a little bit light over here, so it might be the top layer peeling a little bit, and it's common, not the actual protective peel because this doesn't have it, but you can see that it's a little bit discoloration, and it runs along the bottom, so something to note and potentially be concerned about, just because it's not all over the card. Look at the left side, nothing like that at all. Check out the surface, nice line right here. It's kind of hidden, but it does reflect for me. See if I can make it show up. Right here, you guys probably can't see it because my fingers are there, but there's a line that goes right here down through. It's pretty faint, but it is there. And like I said, not necessarily punitive, but it's something that you want to be aware of, so you just start calculating all the potential flaws and see where they sit. A couple little pits right here you can see. And they were common back then as well. That's why these cards didn't necessarily always grade very well. Just there was a lot of print dimples. But no greening. This one's fairly nice. A couple more minor pits. They kind of blend in so it doesn't take away from the aesthetics. That's in my opinion though. But free of any kind of major scratches, which is awesome. Backside, let's check it out. Backside dark border, this corner. I would say it's pretty good. It's got the purple all the way to the tip, so I'd say that's a sharp corner. This particular corner right there, maybe just a touch. Maybe just a touch of white. Let's check. It does show a touch of white in front of my eyes here, but I'm trying to get it to show you on the scope. a little bit different, but a little touch of speck of white just right on the tip right there. Not the end of the world, but still there. You gotta kind of call it for what it is, right? You can't just, if you imagine this is a blank player card instead of MJ, probably wouldn't feel as bad. Bottom right corner looks like it could be a little bit round at the tip as well. Bottom edge right here, you can see there's a little bit of a potential indent, fingernail maybe, I'm not sure. But going the rest of the way, left side, left corner, you can see that this is not a white tip, it's just the purple slightly fading, I would say. So I would say that still hurts the card a little bit, but overall this is a pretty nice clean card. I think, let me check if that's a slight indent. It is a small indent, that fingernail area. I would say realistically speaking, it could be an 8, could be a 9 maybe, max. But those are the little kind of accumulating factors for this card. I'm trying to get it back in the sleeve. I think you have one of these vintage sleeves. They're a little bit heavier, or a little bit thicker. Put it in one of these ones I have. Okay, there we go. All right, moving on. Next MJ we got is a 95-96 Finest with the peel. Love this card. One of these days I want to get the refractor for myself. Centering, I believe, is within PSA 10 standards. This has the peel on it, so keep in mind they do grade the surface with the peel on. They don't grade assuming everything's nice underneath. They're grading the actual peel. So at the top right here, you can see the corner's nice and sharp. The peel's starting to come up a little bit right here. Also, there's some little scratches and stuff like that on the peel, but let's keep going. The corner looks good. Down the right side, nice and clean. Bottom right corner, you can see the peel, same thing. Slowly coming up, that's why the light disparity over there. Edge looks nice and clean. And then the bottom left corner here, same thing, it looks pretty sharp as well. Looks like the peel's starting to come up slightly. And then let's go check out the surface. Surface of the peel, there's a nice line that goes all the way across. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's one right here. If you follow my finger, you see a nice straight line all the way through. So that's gonna hurt the grade if you leave the peel on, that is. But let's double check to see if it's something you want to peel. You got a nice scratch right there across the peel as well. My biggest concern is the greening right here on the shoulder, greening right here on the wee bit bicep, greening on the jersey. There's quite a bit of greening on the jersey, as you can see. And then also along the forearm, this entire forearm is pretty much green as well, and also a little bit of the elbow. So, to me, automatically, obviously, it's not going to grade well as far as for a 10 goes. Could a 9 still be reachable? Yes, but you got to keep in mind, once again, the amount of greening, that's the hard part, because we always talk about the 4 components, which is centering, surface, edges, and corners, and nobody ever talks really about the eye appeal factor, which is basically the 5th criteria that PSA allegedly uses. And that's the hard part, because it could mean anything. It's basically someone's opinion that there's no data points to kind of back it up. So that's something to think about. But the corners look good on the back too. Edges look good. The only issue, like I said, really is the front peel and the greening of this particular card. So let me know what you want to do there. But as far as gem goes, this one's not going to happen. Okay, now we got the MJ Emotion Intense, and same thing, another card I absolutely love. He is flaunting the 45. All right, high gloss card. Check it out. First corner, pretty sharp, nice and clean. Got a little bit of minor feathering at the tip or fraying. This side, same thing. You can see the corner has a little bit of white touch right there, a little bit of a curve, and then a little bit of white tip. So a little paper loss, not ideal. Edges right there, it's okay. I'll give it a pass. It's just not perfectly straight, but it's not taken away from the actual design of the card. Like, it's not digging into the actual surface portion. Bottom right corner here looks pretty good. It's a little bit curved in, but there's no paper sticking out. There's no white. So it could be just the way this card is cut. And then the bottom left definitely has a little bit of wear along the bottom edge and also the corner. Maybe we can get a better view once again if I turn the light off. Maybe you won't be able to see it better. Just very edge, see kind of how it glows a little bit. So not horrible, but a little bit of wear there. Left side looks pretty clean. And surface on these cards. Generally, here's a nice little line right across. You can see the scratch. It's horizontal, kind of goes all the way through. So I would tell you that's a print line that runs through the card. Clean, just little smudges here and there. A couple minor scratch right there across his neck. Another scratch here along the shoulder. I don't know if you guys can see that, but see if I can move the light so you guys can check it out too. Here you go. Should show up a little bit now, right there. A lot of micro scratches, but not major concern. Just the big ones that you want to keep note of. Micro scratches are exactly that. Almost every card has micro scratches, but you're not going to get penalized for those. It's the big ones. So a couple surface issues. Obviously the print line being a major thing. Also the top right corner. Backside, let's double check. We got the black borders, so it makes it easy to see. There's no white on that corner, so that's nice. This particular corner, I'd give it a pass. There's a little bit of fraying at the tip. Very minor, but it's still there. You guys can see a little bit better there. You can see how white it is. Next, corner here on the bottom. Nice and clean. Good edge, and the last corner is nice and clean as well. As far as back surface goes, no dents, no major scratches either. A couple little tiny roller lines. But I would say the print line and the corner, likely getting a 9. But still, 9 mint card, 94.95, I believe this is 94.95. It's a 30-year-old card. Way ahead of its time as far as design goes. So it's nice. Next card here, I've been trying to get one of these myself to gem as far as buying a clean copy. I haven't made any purchases. This is the triple double 3D standouts hologram MJ. So first corner you can already see, nice touch of white. A little chipping in the hologram. Second corner, even in the hologram, that corner has some white. Let's see here, third corner, clearly a touch of white. Bottom edge has some chipping as well. And then the last corner, also a touch of white and some more chipping. So front alone, I would say with 4 corners that show wear, that kind of does eliminate a 9 as well. So best card, or best grade this card could likely get is an 8, assuming everything else is pretty decently clean. So card's just a little bit dirty. A couple print lines here showing up horizontal. I don't know if you can see it. Once again, I will try my best to make it so it's visible for you guys. I can see it here, but follow my finger. You can see the line show up on his armpit. And then it's just gonna go along this right there. So right here, and keep going. Gosh, I don't know if you guys can see that at all. There, it kind of shows it right here. There you go, and there you go. Double print line there. Dun, 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 dun. So there you kind of have it, at least for the front side, back side, assuming it's going to reflect the same as the front. Let's check it out. Back corner, that one's pretty decent actually. It's got a little bit of a touch of white, but not bad. This corner here, fair. Top edge has a little bit of minor chipping, same with the right edge. You can see right here and right here, it's white. Going along the side here, black edge right there, you can see definitely some chipping, same a little bit more red. This particular corner, good, but the edge is right above it, a little white. You can see significant amount of paper loss too, potentially right there. It's not too bad, it's just a little bit of chipping, to be honest with you. And then this corner, definitely, let's make sure it's not a reflection. It's not. This corner's got a good chunk missing. So I would say this particular card, you're looking probably 7, maybe an 8, probably a 7. Tough card to find. This one and the 92-93 Upper Deck, the Team MVPs. that one is super hard to find in a gem mint condition in the wild. So I'm still looking. 0 purchases, but not gonna give up. Next one here, Slammin' or Champion Spirit Topps Chrome MJ. This one, I don't know what year it is, but let's check it out. Nice clean corner. Nice clean corner as well over there. Edge coming down. There's a little bit of, I think it's the design, I hope so, but when I'm looking at it in person, this is definitely coming up a little bit as far as the peel goes. It's a front layer. And coming down, that looks okay. It's not my favorite. It's supposed to be nice and smooth, but you can see the discoloration. It just tells you the card doesn't sit flat. Corner's nice though. Edges are good. And bottom corner looks good as well. Let's check out the surface. Okay. So far decently clean. I know we saw some at the bottom left corner, but we'll check it out when we get there. But looking for anything major elsewhere. Don't see much. A minor pit, but pretty minor. Don't want to be nitpicky about it. There we go. Scratch right there, horizontal between here and here. And then let's keep going. Fairly clean for the most part. A little pit right under the O. You guys can see that. It's okay. And then we got a couple lines right here and a trail of those little dots or scuffs. So they're on the card. They're not really something that you can take off. It's permanent. It's pretty much a print thing. And you can always tell when the reflection, like I said, I mentioned this in every single video, if the light kind of gets eaten, how it turns dark, that means it's embedded, imprinted into the card. So that would eliminate it from being a 10 in my opinion. Let's check out the back though. Backside corner, that one looks pretty good. It's a little bit flipped up as far as the edge goes. This one lays perfectly flat, so there's the difference. Bottom right corner here, look good. Pixels go all the way to the tip. Obviously a roller line coming across. That's okay though. Edges look pretty good. I don't see anything major there. And then the last corner here looks like it goes all the way to the tip as well. So this card likely probably a 9 in my opinion, honestly, which is a good grade, mint. Just a couple issues over there. And the problem is the design's so simple too that aesthetically you can see them clear as day. It feels like a mosaic print. A lot harder to see and spot and find. Next one here. Got another MJ. This is the MJ back to back. And then I believe the centering left to right I posted. It's pretty far off. I believe it's beyond the 60-40. Alright, let's double check. Let's go here. So corner looks good. Corner looks good as well. Edge is nice and clean. Bottom right corner here looks pretty good. Edge right there looks like it has a couple light reflections, so it just tells you where the little imprints are. Doesn't mean it's punitive, it's there. Obviously a little scratch right here. Keep going, and then the bottom left looks good as well. Left edge is nice and clean. So let's check out the surface. So there's some kind of weird watermark. And I just noticed that when I was trailing through the entire card too, so we'll follow it. So you can see a little watermark going across the surface along the edge, continues over here. So it just could be moisture. I don't think it's a layer of anything. I don't think the card's printed that way, but maybe it is. I haven't seen this copy before, but that would be a very weird design to have. Horizontal scratch right there as well. We'll just keep digging, look. Little scratch right there on his arm. Scratch right there. A little dirty. Is that AI? Is that Iverson? No, that's somebody else. I just saw the 3. Alright, there you go. And another little scratch right there. A little print. Actually, it's not a print. That's part of the same thing that looks like a moisture stain or something like that. I don't know what it is. A little pit right there. So when you're looking at a card like this right now, you got to think to yourself, like, what would you honestly give it if it was not Michael Jordan on the front? on the card. What would you think? Back corner there, nice and clean. Corner's clean as well. You can see obviously the light getting eaten into the edge, so it tells you where a couple little micro dents are. Not necessarily punitive, you just want to know where those things are so you can start keeping data points. Same thing right there, edge-wise. A couple scratches on the back. And clean corner, so overall the foundation's nice. It's that surface that's giving me issues. If it's definitely water damage, depends if it wipes off or not with a little bit of spit. If it comes off and the surface looks clean, obviously there's going to be very few issues. However, centering alone prevents this from being a 10. So I would tell you, barring what that stain is and if it comes out or not, probably looking at a potential 9 maximum. Now if it's definitely a stain that's just part of the card, it's going to be a lot less, but we won't know till we get there. Next here is the Living Legends MJ. Another beautiful card, very hard to gem, mainly because of the foil, the sensitivity, and how the chip's incredibly easy. Let's check it out. Nice clean edge going up the left side, corner you can already see, paper loss, foil loss, I should say. Top edge is nice. This particular corner is missing a nice chunk of foil as well. You can see it's perfectly white. Clean edge, bottom right corner here, let's check it out. This one looks pretty good for the most part. There's just a small touch of foil missing there. And then the last corner over here, I would tell you that's probably your best corner right there for sure. Surface wise, let's double check. The foil doesn't make it tough or anything like that. In fact, it actually helps the card. It doesn't really hold a lot of micro scratches. Problem is though, anything that's on here is pretty much permanent. But so far so good. Don't see anything. Most of these cards with the foil, the scratches will actually be on the gloss side, which is the jersey or actual golden foil where they print the names. Outside of that though, these cards stay generally fairly clean of micro scratches. There you go. The card's just dirty more than anything. There you go. A little bit of a print issue right there. But overall the surface is pretty nice. It's the corners that's going to prevent this card. Backside, let's double check. Same thing, confirm. Corner, edge, definitely has a little bit of wear on both. Paper loss. Edge has some wrinkles coming in. And this corner, definitely missing a little bit of paper. Staring right at it, it's clearly white. Don't like that. Paper loss. Bottom right corner here, it's got a little bit of roundness to it. A little bit of paper fray. And this last one has some bottom edge chipping also, along with paper loss on the corner. So this particular card, as much as I'd love to give it a good grade, you're likely getting a 7. Just a lot of paper loss on something like this. I think it's a little bit worse than an 8. You still could get an 8, but I just wouldn't expect it. Next one here, Fleer Sharpshooters. I've had a couple copies of this card. Actually, I have a 10 myself, but let's check it out. It's not a card I pulled. I bought it off eBay a while ago, so let's check it out here. Top left, it's fair. It's got a little bit of touch of white there. Edges, you can see it's got a little micro chipping going away. This corner here, it's reflecting all funky, so let me turn the light. And I would say that's a pretty good corner. Edges look good here. Bottom, that's a perfect corner. That's as good as it gets for these years. I swear, it's a beautiful corner. Being out in the wild. In this last corner here, what do you think? I think there's something to be questioned, but at the same time, looks like it could be part of the design as part of his waistband. So, give that a pass. Let's check it out though. Edges, obviously you can see there's little squiggles and minor wrinkles here and there, but it's okay. Surface wise, it's dirty so far. Let's see what we find. Foil looks okay. Same thing, high gloss card, so once again, you're not gonna run, it's not super high gloss like Showcase, but there's a nice glossy layer here, so it does prevent a lot of the micro scratches. Surface wise, I would just tell you the card looks a little bit dirty, but outside of that, it's pretty darn clean. Surface wise, little scratch right here. Print line actually, nice and straight, goes all the way across. So that's definitely gonna hurt you a little bit. Here's also a micro print line. It's a nice vertical one. I don't know if you can see it. Goes all the way up to the side too. So you can see that right there, splits the card. Backside, let's double check. We got clean corner, pixels go all the way to the tip. This side, let's double check. So we got a little bit of white right on the corner tip. And let's see here. Corners here, it's good. The little fraying is okay, that's not cutting into the edge itself. And the last corner on a black border, check it out, look at that, it's a beautiful corner right there. So this card, I mean, I can see you getting a 9 on this particular card. I don't think it's going to be worse than that. I don't think you're getting a shot at a 10, but this is probably the closest one you have so far to a 10. All right, next one we got is a Nemesis. This is from what set? I can't say I've seen this card before. It's a foil card. Is this Pinnacle? What is this? Okay, it says Tops. Nemesis. MJ with Joe Dumars. Let's check out the MJ side real quick. Nice foil card. So there's some chipping along the top. You guys, I don't know if you can see it once again, guys. I just wish you were here so you can check it out, but see if this helps. Probably not too much. There you go. You guys can see how it's just white along the edge, cuts in, goes around. Let's check out the rest of the card this way. Probably easier for you guys to see it. Corner, you can see definitely has a little bit of white as well. Coming down, nice clean edge. Bottom right corner here, paper loss. You can see it's pretty much gone right there. And the reflections from the foil makes it really hard to see, but you can see once I wiggle the light around, it's definitely the paper stock underneath. Bottom edge clean, and the last corner same thing, some white. So I would tell you just based on the front, with the 4 corners, likely an 8 max. Let's check the back so no, real quick. Backside, corner's better just because the overstock or the stock on the top is just a little bit thicker, kind of protected the corner. That corner's pretty good on the backside. This corner looks to have a complete chunk of foil missing. And this last corner, same thing. It's got a little bit of paper loss right there. I don't know if you can tell, it's white. So just looking at corners alone and that big chunk missing, likely a 6, 7. Could be either way, but it's not going to get a higher grade than that, in my opinion. Next card we have is a Area 23 MJ. Ionics. Beautiful cards. There you go. Nice clean corner there. Good top edge. Right side looks good. Right edge looks good. Bottom right corner is nice and clean as well. Bottom edge looks good. Left side looks good. Edge also looks nice and clean. Surface wise, check it out. So this is more holographic foil than holographic metal. Couple little chips there, but very minor. Thumbprint, maybe some scuffs right here. Nothing major, another little print defect right there, circle. You can start counting those, there's another one. Overall though, not too bad. Little scratch right here. Little pit on his eye. I don't know if you can see it right here. A couple more circles. So, little print line right there. No, it's just part of the design. You're good there. I'll give that a pass. But a couple little pits, obviously, that could hurt the grade. Definitely the one on his eyebrow is a little bit thicker than anything else. Backside corner. This corner's got a little touch of white. It's okay for the most part if you're looking for a mint. That corner looks pretty good. It's got just a little bit of excess fibers. This bottom corner has a peel, like on the Prism cards. I always talk about them. But the corner is fine. It's just the transparent peels coming up. And I see that all the time. It's nuts. And this particular corner looks like it's pretty good. to me might have a small touch of white right there. Let's double check, see if I can spot it. I can't. So I'd say that's a nice corner. Cool. So overall, this card, same thing. I think you're looking at a 9. I think low probability of a 10, but still there is a probability there. Centering on these cards, like I said, I'm not 100% sure about, just because there's no clear-cut borders on that one, so you want to take that into consideration. But I think between the cards you have, the Intense, the Sharpshooters, and this one so far are going to be your best bets. We got 2 left. This is the starting lineup, MJ. So let's check it out here. All right, nice paper card. And I do not know if these are authentic or not because I have no idea. I know people fake them, but this one looks good to me. Card stock looks nice and original as far as from what I can tell. Okay. Look at that clean edge. Bottom corner here, just a small touch of white, as you can see. Very small. Bottom left though, however, a lot more touch of white than you'd like. Clean edge though. Surface wise, couldn't really spot anything as far as scratches go, but we're gonna look for print issues just because most of these cards back in that time just had like print defects more than anything else. But so far this looks pretty decently clean. Is that a fisheye? What is that? Nope, just a little bit lighter than the rest of the card. So I would tell you the print looks good too. Beautiful card still. Backside, let's check it out. Okay, backside. There you go, a little bit of hair, but overall pretty clean there. Corner's got a little touch of wear, a little rounding, very minor, but there. This one looks pretty decent as well. And then the bottom left here, that one's got a little bit of paper loss, I would say. Obviously you can see it's not perfectly cut as far as straight goes. Still a nice corner. I think this particular card you have a between an 8 and a 9. A 9 on this card would be great still, so something to think about, at least in my opinion. Then we got one more. I think this is also a starting lineup. This is 1990. It's got the yellow borders. I am uncertain as far as where the centering plays on this one, so I just kind of left that. Don't have too much experience with that as far as centering for these yet. Haven't had a chance to look at it either. So let's check out the rest of the card though. Corner here looks pretty decent. I think there might be some white, but let's double check just to make sure. It's hard to tell sometimes with these bad boys. Okay, let's see. You can see there's some chipping along the top edge, but the corner looks clean though. Minor chipping along the top edge, a little bit more. Definitely some paper loss right here as we go across a little bit more. And right here, that corner looks good. It's not glowing and the pixels go all the way to the tip, so I'd say the corners are good. You might have a little bit issue on the top edge. Right edge looks good. Bottom right here, you could see that there was a little bit of a small chunk missing right here on the edge. It's cut into the card. Corner looks a little bit rounded, but definitely not paper loss reasons, just the way it was cut, potentially. And we're gonna look at the bottom left corner here. That one's got a little bit of fraying, which is fine. Small edge chips on the left, but very minor, I would say. So still a very clean card, still mint from what I see at least, in my opinion. And we're gonna go here into the rest of the card, the surface. So like I said, I'm taking a little bit longer on these compared to normal inspections, just so you guys can see a little bit more in depth as far as some of these MJs go. It's not as simple as wanting the MJ to be a 10. It's just there's a lot of little things to look at just because of the way the cards were designed back then as well. Stock was different, technology was different, and they've been out for 30 plus years. Alright, so overall though, nice clean surface as well. Little red dot right there, but very minor as far as if you're trying to look for reasons to dock a card. Backside, let's double check just to make sure. Corner looks good, a little dirty as far as the edges go, but not too big of a deal. Right side, that corner's nice and clean. Then we got the edges, no browning. Usually a lot of these cards with the white backs back then, you can see quite a bit of browning. Some stains right here, very minor, but they are there. Take note of that. Left corner here looks pretty good. Might be a little touch of wear, but very minor. Same over here, just a little bit dirty more than anything else. So overall, you have a nice card. I think this one still, I know not like a 10 you're looking for just based on the top edge, but at the same time, I think this is a very strong 9 if you decided to try and get this graded pending centering, which I don't know on this particular card. Don't have enough examples, but check Beckett slabs and see what I can find if they graded them. So there you go, my friend. Let me know as far as things go. Obviously, you and I can have a sidebar conversation around this stuff, and we shall go from there. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Like I said, MJs are just a little bit different because of the age. Actually, I just don't want to say MJs. Pretty much anything from the 90s. You can just pretty much look at it like you're looking at these cards, and you're going to find stuff at the end of the day. So it's not because you're trying to find something that's in good shape for its age. You're still trying to find something that's just in genuine condition, regardless of era. So that's just kind of how it works in my opinion. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we shall do more. There's some cards coming back obviously soon, so I know you guys enjoy the reveals. We will get to those when they get back, and you guys just have a great rest of your day. Catch you later.